This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Let's be honest, we all have challenges day to day in our daily lives. And sometimes it makes doing life a little more challenging when you're dealing with something like anxiety, depression, relationship challenges. You're feeling stuck. You're not moving forward. Got somebody that can certainly help you out with that. She is a Christian counselor at Prepared Approach Counseling. She's also an amazing author and pilots people's lives, walks that journey with them. Lawson Singleton is joining us today on the program. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. Thanks for having me as well.
Oh, thanks for being here. And we all got stuff going on. Let's be honest. Anybody that says my life is perfect, no issues with, they're not being truthful.
Right.
Even the person that says, my family, all of us always get together and there's never any conflict and never strife in it. They're not being honest. They're just not. It's called life. That's the way life is. And then you navigate through it and you move through it. What do you hear mostly from people these days, Marie? What are they telling you?
Well, they're either stressed or worried about the future or fear. There's a lot of fear.
Do they verbalize fear or you just detect fear in what they're saying?
Well, the words that keeps coming back over and over in their conversation tells that the level of fear they're in or the state of anxiety. For example, if they're talking about their job, the conversation about the job dominates. If they're having just a general conversation, the job comes up over and over and over. If there's a problem in the family, that child's name over and over, or the situation around that child over and over in the conversation. So based on that, there's a problem that needs to be addressed.
Does most everything that challenges us, always come back to fear in some way?
Yes. Usually that's the root of every problem that we go through. That's the root of anxiety, actually. Fear.
Interesting.
Fear of the unknown.
Is it just because we want to, even though what we might be doing might not be the best for us, it's a known entity. So we just keep on doing it as opposed to the unknown where the fear can come in.
Correct. And we're afraid of changes.
Yeah. It's amazing how our minds work, where it'll keep us in a space that doesn't really truly support because we just don't want to even take a chance of making a change because there's fear involved in that.
Exactly. And especially if you're raised around fear or you're constantly around fear or you're in a stressful environment, that's the inevitable.
Now, you are a Christian counselor. How do you define that?
Well, good question. A Christian counselor is using Christ-centered therapy along with psychology to bring about healing, to bring about results. I find that it works a lot quicker, faster, because we're involving someone that's greater than us in the midst who reveals truth, because he's truth. So yes, that's my approach for the most part.
Does somebody have to be religious to have a Christian counselor?
Not at all. Actually, no. As a matter of fact, that's not something we bring up in the conversation at all. The conversation just flows, and basically truth is just something that comes out. And the truth, when we can get to the bottom of what's going on, which is the truth, that's where healing begins.
I'm right there with you. And in my journey, I pilot on facts, which is the truth. You can't deny it. It is in front of you. You can try and bend it, but the truth is the truth. And as there's an adage, the truth will set you free. I believe that if you just pilot on that.
Yeah. And I also want to stress that Christian counseling is not just talk therapy, which people may think it is, but it's based on values. It's based on and you growing out of the premise that, as you said, the truth is what sets us free. And that's what we want to make sure that we communicate. That this is something we believe, this is something we obey. The task in counseling is a replacement of misbelief lies with truth.
Interesting. And I'm getting a download here. The lies. Let's talk about the
Mhm.
lies. Let's talk about our
Okay.
own lies. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the lies that we tell ourselves that we don't even know that we're telling ourselves. Stuff that's not
Yeah.
true. We believe it to be true because that's the way it's been since we were kids. What do you think?
Right.
Can we talk? Go there?
Social media also, for one thing, makes us want to live in a lie, a world that's not real.
Yeah.
And so we tend to want to mask who we really are, should be.
Yeah. Or
And that's
filter.
and that's some yeah. And that's something we have grown into either from our parents or school, again, social media, friends. Eventually it's just snowball.
Do you believe
So we don't
that
know who we are.
a lot of what we're challenged by is
Mhm.
those lies, which are coming from our childhood, which they
Mhm.
call it limiting beliefs? It's in our subconscious, and we're just running that program over and over again. Now we're adults. When somebody says you're acting like
Yeah.
a child, you really are in a lot of ways.
That is true. Yes. And that's usually you at times you have to go back to the root,
Mm.
go back to the beginning as far as the way you were raised, where you were, how you were, what things you were taught, and how is it affecting you today?
You're bringing back a memory of, and I think it's therapy or counseling connected, but to
Uh-huh.
change somebody's perception of something, you use this statement: is it true that, and then fill in the blank, because you can't deny it
Right.
when you present it that way. And right, I'm getting right back to the truth here. You're
Mhm.
telling yourself, is it true that you're a resilient person? Is it true that you are a good person? Is it true that you take care of others before yourself?
Mhm.
You're probably going to say yes. Well, I can't deny that. I do, because
Right.
it comes from a truth statement. For
Right.
you, counseling people in many different areas, and we're going to get to those in just a moment, where did this all begin for you, your journey?
My journey begins at an early age, having mentors in my life. I'm probably age 10. People that helps to guide me along the way. When I want to go the wrong way, they'll get me back on track, from principals to teachers to pastors, all help to guide me along the way. And so people would always come to me, asking me questions, looking to me for directions. And I'm like, I don't have an answer. And then finally, I realized that I'm saying things to them that I'm like, wait a minute, are you doing what you're saying?
Mm.
And they're taking the information I'm giving them and using it, and I'm seeing results. And so this is the track record. Um, Working in the corporate world, same thing over and over until eventually I realized this is where I went away um, to a camp with abused kids. And that camp changed my life. That camp made me realize the real world, what kids are going through. And for a week straight, I cried night and day over those children. And that
Mm.
changed my life radically, drastically, to where I want to help people even more. And so I have a passion for children. I have a passion for the broken. Um, and I got this picture after I was wondering about this one child. What's going to happen to this child? Will she survive? And it's like God gave me a download that just like how He provides for the tree, the flowers, the sparrow, He provides for us, and He will take care of her. And that gave me hope. And years later, I found out that she's a teacher now,
Wow.
and so that encouraged me, and so that set me on direction to go back to school. I have increased my education to open my own practice. God just allow it to just evolve. Takes time to get into all of that, but evolve to where I have a private practice where I'm helping people, and I'm seeing tremendous result. And this is my passion. This is where I see results.
Mm. Do you feel that you're an empath, a high level empath, and that's why back when you were younger, that's why you got upset?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, the thing about it is when you have gone through challenges, when you have had your own pain, sometimes we look at the pain, the challenges as something is wrong with you, but it's not. Those are clues to say to you, this is the direction. These are stepping stones for you to help identify who you are and how to help others. And that was it in my case. My pain became my greatest treasures. It's a place I can pull from with education to help others.
So I'm glad you said that. I have something up here in front of me that
Okay.
I heard recently, and I'm trying to find it, but I'm going to paraphrase it.
Okay.
Our greatest challenges give us our greatest gifts.
Absolutely.
So my question is, and I agree with that. It's a tough one to, it's a tough one to process. But why do you think it's that way? Why do we have to go through tough stuff, potentially pain, to
Mhm.
get to what could be the good stuff? Why do you think it has to be that way?
Well, I think we learn mostly through pain. I think if you look at it, it's the pressure that brings out the beauty. It's the pressure that brings the compassion. It's the pressure. For example, if you look at a grape, you crush that grape and look what you get out of it.
Right?
It's the
Mm.
pressure that applies to the gold that turns it into the metal that turns it into something beautiful,
Or a
a beautiful.
diamond.
Exactly, right. The pearl, it's the pressure that creates something beautiful. And a lot of times we run away from pain because we're taught that pain is bad, but it's not. If you look at pain from the perspective of the other side of pain, if you can endure that pain, and we don't know what it is to endure. We were never taught what it is to endure. We're taught to run away from things. So
Mm.
if we can endure and see pain as something we can learn from, that we can use to help others, it's through pain that we come up with a lot of solutions. It's through pain that we have all these different nonprofits, as far as Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, all these entities
Mm.
came to someone's pain.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, beautiful. Wow. And firmly believe that if we didn't know sadness, how would we know happy?
Exactly.
You wouldn't even know what it was.
Right.
If we just lived a flat line, everything was just the same. Every day's the same.
And that's not possible at
It's
all.
not right. Not possible, and
Mm.
it's not positive.
And that's not life at all. Life
No.
comes with challenges. And my job is to help people identify the challenges and able to give them tools to be able to live and enjoy where they're at.
Let's talk about some of those challenges. I would imagine trauma being one of them, which we somewhat
Mhm.
identify traumas from our childhood.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
all different types. And those
Correct.
traumas, just for others to understand, when you hear the word trauma, I know it's like, oh, wait, no, I haven't been through any traumas. You got bullied on the playground, when you're
Yes,
like
that's,
7
that's
years old.
trauma.
That's
That's
trauma.
trauma.
You had a
Yeah.
trauma. Now,
Yeah.
it might not affect you later in life, but then again, it may.
True.
Depends on the child
Absolutely.
at that time. And you might
Yeah.
not even know that, you know,
It's attached. It's connected. Yeah.
100%. Right.
Yeah.
You could have even had your best friend at 8 years old say, "We're not friends anymore," and walks away. And you're like, "I have no friends now." You could have fear
Yeah.
of abandonment. Then it could be another situation with, I don't know, parent leaves or whatever.
Exactly.
And now you're sitting with that, and you might not even know. So that be one of them. Certainly, I guess, depression you help people with.
Uh,
And I'm also going to say you're an anxiety warrior because you wrote a book. I'd
yeah.
love to talk
Yeah. We
about that
can
right
do it.
now,
Yes.
if we may.
Yeah.
Uh, this is like the guide to guide you
This
through.
is the guide. This is the guide.
Yeah.
So this is something I would really encourage people to get to work through. It's a guide. It's actually a workbook,
Mm,
and it's like a 30-day workbook that you'll go through. And this, to me, this is something that everyone can use, and I believe you will see results. Within 30 days, you should see results. If you follow the process, because again, it's a process. Life is a process. When you're going through challenges, it's a process. There's no quick fix. There's no pop a pill and you're over. So if you follow the process, you will see results.
Why a book about anxiety? You could have written a book about anything.
Because when I first started my practice, I think we were just coming through, kids were born in I think around 9/11
Hmm.
situation. And from that created a lot of fears for people. What is going to happen next? And we start living in that, especially on the East Coast, with a lot of fear. What's next? And so the babies that were born, I think, have a level of fear, and little things will trigger that fear. And so most of my clients were coming in with anxiety. And I did this process and turn it into a book. The process in this book is what I've used and saw a lot of results, and I turned it into a book. And believing that this is one way I can reach more people through the book.
We need a book like that because in my world, people I know, I'm not going to say everyone, but
Mhm.
if I were to just take a guess of all the people I know, I would say about pushing 70% of them have anxiety. Admit, I have anxiety.
Mhm.
What's your advice to somebody that does have anxiety? Just that the first thing you would say to anybody. And again, it's a process. You have a
Mhm.
workbook. You help people work through anxiety. But what's your first thing when somebody says, "Yeah, I deal with anxiety"? What comes up for you?
Talk about it, get help. Don't be
Mm,
afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to say it. Not it doesn't mean that something is that you are different or you're crazy. No, it says that I need to talk about it. I need to explore help.
mm. Where does it usually come from? We said before fear. Is that really that's it's a fear of something?
Fear of the future, fear of the news, fear again. Anytime you see the news increase with a lot of fear-based information, anxiety will increase around the nation, and it's going to increase. Right now, tens of millions are suffering from anxiety disorder,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's going to increase. Statistically, it's increasing,
Mm.
especially around children.
And that's the other part that you don't even consider. You think a lot of kids are just doing okay. Adults are the only ones with problems and anxiety. No, Marie, do you feel that it is like you could have anxiety about your situation,
Mhm.
your immediate situation, but do you also feel that the other stuff we're all exposed to, the world situations, little thing here, a little thing there, a little thing, just causes the anxiety to add up?
Yes, totally agree. Again, we're a global nation, and so we get the news from all over the world. We see things all over the world
Mm,
in quick time frame. So that also add to another level of anxiety. The bullying added to is an added piece. Just the home situation. Those are levels of anxieties. And the sad thing about it is people are not getting help as they should. People are not reaching out for help. People are not asking for help. So I want to put it out there. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed.
it's almost as if, and I want your input on this. I'm just
Mhm,
getting a thought here. You get so used to having anxiety that
mhm.
you don't even realize what it's like not to be dealing with it, but it could be a whole beautiful new world once you eradicate it.
Absolutely. You don't have to suffer alone. What you're doing is suffering alone and maybe popping some pills or living somehow, maybe this in some compulsive disorder to compensate for it. And it shouldn't have to be that way.
Mm. How about some of the other things that you counsel people on? Things like maybe their job, relationships. What are some of the things that you work with people on?
Of course, job for sure, career, uh, coaching as well along that line. One of the things about on the jobs, what I'm finding is work balance. People don't know when to stop. Even those that are working from home, you would think they would stop working at a reasonable time. I'm finding that they're working even more.
Mm.
And with the job market fluctuating the way it is, that's creating another level of stress. And not having a healthy work balance, that causes a lot of sickness
Mm. Yeah.
with time away
It,
from.
it's almost as if we think that that's what we need to do to survive, if you will.
Mhm.
And I get it, like you're worried about your job, your position, your situation. What is what's the difference between stress and anxiety? Stress and anxiety, are they very closely connected?
Well, stress leads to anxiety. The
Okay.
longer you stay in it, the more anxious you become. And the more anxious you are, the anxiety just increases. And the
Hmm.
result shows up in your body. The body keeps the score.
Yeah, that's the other part we don't realize. Everything you deal with, your body is dealing with, right down to, as I've learned in the last year or so,
Mhm.
cellular level.
Exactly.
It's like it's
Ab-
got a memory. Your body remembers it. So
uh-huh.
it's almost as if things that, let's say you take a hammer to your head or your hand.
Mhm.
That, first hit of dealing with something, anxiety, stress, whatever, that impacted your body. You may have a little
Yes.
bruise there. Now do it again. Now do it again. That's your body dealing with it over and over again. What eventually happens? Body breaks down. You have illness, disease, and
Mhm.
all that other stuff going on. And then you blame it on other factors. Oh, well, it's genetic. Oh, well, that's going on. No,
Yeah.
it all came from the stress and anxiety.
Well, it's been proven that most of our diseases and health issues stems from stress, stems
Yeah.
from long, even generational sickness, stress, the way we carry stress, the way we carry fear, the way we carry anxiety. The result long term is generational sicknesses and diseases.
Mm.
So, yeah, anxiety keeps us from living fully. It leads and it leads to all, even Alzheimer's, we're finding now. Dementia, part of it is stress.
Wow.
I'm dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know the level of it because you're talking to people and working them through it. Listen, it inspired you to write a book.
And
There's
more to come.
more to come. Well,
Yes.
okay. All right. Marie's going to write her next book. What's it going to be about?
It's going to be actually be a marriage, family, because family is another issue that we're seeing a breakdown in this in our country,
Agreed.
and one of the things when family are in disarray, it affects the entire country. It affects school, it affects health, it affects. It's just
The economy. Yeah.
exactly. So family is an area where we see we're losing children, we're losing generation. We're losing communities. And so this is an area I want to attack a little bit more and bring awareness to how we can help, how we can come together and help. From the pastors to the politicians, to the regular people on the streets, we can work together to help to keep family intact and be there for each other.
Amen to that. I totally agree with you. And I actually feel that if more people got counseling and therapy to figure out what they got going on, which they probably don't know what they've got
Yeah,
going on, i.e., those traumas from your childhood, et cetera, et cetera. I bet you more families, many more families would be together right now.
I agree.
Yeah. It's
I agree. As a matter of fact, if the family is intact, mental illness will decrease.
yeah. Well, you got a support system built in there, assuming that the family is, you know, tight knit and working together.
Yeah.
How do we work with you? What's the best way? Do we go to your website? Do you have a discovery call?
Yes, absolutely. We do. I do offer a free consultation. I also have online, which is primarily what I do right now, online counseling.
Hmm.
And you can find me at preparedapproachcounseling.com. Again, preparedapproachcounseling.com. And I can be reached at phone number 201-993-7891.
Yeah, it starts with a conversation. It's a relationship. See how the relationship feels. Um, but first and foremost, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for writing that book. We need it. Like, oh my gosh. I know so many people that are dealing with it, taking meds. Nothing wrong with that if that works for you, but maybe you don't need to. Maybe there's another way to approach it to get you off the meds, which have side effects, which can lead to other issues, frustration,
Absolutely.
depression, et cetera, et cetera. Great having you on here today. You're like a breath of fresh air. You really are.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. And I also wanted, if you don't mind,
Please.
um, is the fact that medicine is not the final approach to dealing with anxiety or mental illness for that matter. What I would say is explore counseling and see what your options are. Explore talking to someone. Don't hold back because of the costs. Mental illness is like an apple where you're rotting away inside until it reaches the outside is when you do something. Don't wait until the last minute. Always talk to someone, even once a month. Check up with someone to see how am I doing. Just talk over what you're going through. I know most of us may say we're already self-aware, so therapy can help. Yes, therapy can help all of us. And nothing is wrong with counseling. Nothing is wrong with going to therapy. To me, it's a healthy way of living.
I love that. And by the way, the apple analogy, how many times you hear somebody say, yeah, that situation's eating me up from the inside out? Yeah, it is. There it is. Right, just what you described there. Once again, website, everybody, start the conversation, preparedapproach.com. Do I have that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Preparedapproach.com. Marie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And looking forward if there's ever a chance for us to get together again. It's great stuff.
Thank you so much for
having me.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.